Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, host of the Successful Women Show, which airs every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our mission is to help women accelerate the path to success. Women in the workplace, women in business, and women who aspire to become business owners, live their dreams, and reach their goals. So join us Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, hello and welcome to the Success for Women show, where you can view us on Pod TV. I am Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, your host, and my mission is to help women accelerate the path to success. Well, tonight's topic is planning your events, and my guest is none other than Miss Sasha Walton. Let me just give you a little bit of background on her. Sasha Walton is a business strategist, a thought leader, speaker, author, TEDx event organizer, and host of According to Sasha podcast. She is passionate about empowering entrepreneurs, especially women. She helps to start and grow sustainable businesses through a strategic process in planning, marketing, and branding that drives results for increased visibility, productivity, and profitability while managing mental wellness. She is the author of Ugly Truth About Entrepreneurship, Keys to Managing Mental Wellness. She has also become a prominent voice who's disrupting the narrative on holistic entrepreneurship and mental health. Sasha has been featured in Authority Magazine, Forbes, Associated Press, Amazon Live, Roku, American Express, Women Rise in Paris, France, as well as other stages and media outlets. Sasha is also the event curator for TEDx Mellon Street, and she is the founder of Business Plans and Mimosa. I'd like to introduce and bring to you Miss Sasha Walton to the Successful Women show. I guess we are having maybe a little bit of technical difficulties. Well, I tell you what, while we are, the engineer is working on bringing her onto the set, what I will do is go ahead. Ah, there she is. I don't have to stop. We can go ahead and proceed. So, Sasha, welcome to the Successful Women show. How are you today?
I am wonderful and thank you for having me. How are you?
I am doing very well, doing very well. Now, I normally give the standard bio on my guests, but I also like to ask my guests to just tell us what you want us to know about Sasha Walton.
Well, I'm a mom, I am a wife, and I am a person who love helping people. I'm innovative. I am the founder of SWI Management Group, where we specialize in strategic business development, event production, and marketing. But what I love most is being able to lead my company as a brand. So I show up
Mhm.
as the business strategist, international speaker, podcast host, author, and so many other things that follow along with that. And but I'm just a regular person that's doing amazing things for other people.
Well, good to have you on the show. Thank you for letting us know a little bit about Sasha. So, tell me about your entrepreneurial journey. What was that like? What has that been like?
Yeah, so I've actually been in business for over 20 years. I started out with doing events, small events for churches and events and large concerts and festivals and government contracting events and things like that. In the midst of time, I've also helped other businesses develop as well. And I just loved what I was doing throughout the whole years of my business, entrepreneurial journey. And I eventually became full-time entrepreneurship by way of a layoff. I was one of those ones that was working a 9 to 5 full-time job and a full-time business at the same time.
Mhm.
But during that layoff, I quickly scaled into government contracting with event services. And from there, it just continuously grew and, having a great business. But then it was the pandemic, which taught me a thing about pivoting. And I shifted a little bit, and that's why I relaunched my business with a personal brand. And now it's just been a roller coaster ride upward since then.
Oh, okay. Okay. So tell us about the challenges that you've experienced during your journey.
Okay, so tell me about the challenges. Yeah, I would say the major challenge was really enduring the pandemic. As I mentioned, I was laid off from my business, I mean, from my company I worked with, and being a full-time entrepreneur and being able to, just work for yourself and scaling 6 figures and, enjoying that life of freedom from a 9 to 5. And then when the pandemic happened, it shut down my business
Mhm.
that I was operating, and I was shut down for 2 years. But not only was it just me being shut down, but it was also my business being shut down. It was also me. I was shut down too because it was process. So I would say that was the biggest challenge was navigating through scaling 6 figures to quickly going down, get the next check and all this other stuff. And it was the ugliness of entrepreneurship that took me through that hardship. But it was through resilience that I overcame and saw a new outlet and a new way of overcoming and really getting back on my feet with the business.
Wow. So, Shasha, you have done a lot of stuff, arranging events, different things like that. But tell us, what is it that you're really passionate about? What's that thing that holds your passion?
I would say primarily is helping other people. That is first and foremost what I'm passionate about.
Mhm.
But yeah, out of all those years, it was events. I still love doing events, but I found that new passion of being able to just stand outside of my comfort zone and then really showing people who I am by standing out, being with my personality, being there for them, and I think I love this thing of spreading my wings a lot more
Mhm.
versus just hiding behind my logo and company and events and being the face of my brand. So I would say my passion has just increased for so many different things lately, but it's still centered around helping other people.
Gotcha. Now, I know that you have um, organized a TEDx event, TEDx Mellon Street, and you know we got to talk about that. So you've got to tell us about what that experience was like. How was it bringing these speakers together on all these different topics, and just getting them on that stage, and tell us about that experience.
Yeah, I would say it was very exhilarating. One of the things that I learned out of that, every experience you should really take away for yourself. It's like, you're doing everything for everyone else. But one of the things I took away from it was the fact that I wasn't just an organizer, I was a leader. And being able to see all the people come through the auditions and the applications to the auditions, and we actually virtually auditioned every last speaker. We had 88 or 89 speakers that applied. And out of
Wow.
that, we selected 18. And I was more excited about being able to have a platform that can like just launch someone else into another phase of their business world and then for their
Mhm.
brand, because we all know TEDx, that label, it really does
Yeah.
something for you when you're really marketing correctly. And I was excited about that. And the journey was it was fun. it was, hard, but not too hard because like events is like a second nature for me. So I know a lot of people are like, how do you do this? And but it's still easy, but it was just still making sure that everything that I did benefited every last speaker on that stage, even down to the post event, and making sure that their videos were edited correctly, and that they were going to make it through TED Talks YouTube platform, and go through the reviews and everything that TED does. And I would actually say that I think 17 out of 18 made it through so far. I have one under review, but all 17 have made it. And and like I said, finding out that you are a leader of something, and like I said, not just an organizer, but when you're leading in a space, that's when you really take the hearts of other people a little bit more seriously, and the things that they're doing, and making sure that they are, going to be in that place where they're meeting their purpose just as much as you are. And so I would say that was like the takeaway for myself, but just it was exciting. I loved it, and I'm ready for the next one.
Wow. Now, how strict was your selection process? I mean, you said you had like 89 speakers to apply, but you finally whittled it down to like 18. What was that like? What was that process like to be able to do that? I mean, did you do it all by yourself? Did you have a panel? How did tell us? We're
Yeah, so
curious.
I did. I could not have done it by myself. If I did, we would have had a week-long event because all 88 people would have been on that stage. And so,
Okay.
but I did have a selection team. I had a wonderful group of people. Dana Watson, she was my select. She actually ended up being my liaison for my speakers,
Mhm.
and really managing the whole process, and becoming my second hand, my right hand in the whole process. But Elaine Scales and another Tanya Lewis was another person that was on my team, and they selected. We had I can't forget Chrissy Canny, and we had a system that we used. We voted, and to make sure that we were fair. And it's one thing I did believe in, because the people don't see you selecting, and they don't know
Mhm.
who you're selecting. But I wanted to make sure that even if they can't see it, that we were still honoring a fair system for them as well. And so we did that. Initially, it was 10 to 12 speakers that I wanted for the stage. But like I said, it was so many good people, and we extended it out to 18. And so that's what we did, and we managed the whole thing, and 18 speakers made it through.
Mhm. Now, you were saying that you still have one under review.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is that because of the strictness of TED, or you know, how do you handle something like that? Or did you know when you submitted that video that there might be some type of glitch there?
Yeah, so really what it is, a lot of people don't really know when they go to apply for TED, is that there are some guidelines that they are strict about. And that
Hmm.
is no pseudoscience. You can't do any type of religious, campaigning or anything like that. No commercial
Right.
pitching for your business. And, there's those type of guidelines. And there was one, I did have several people who were more on the lines of, let's say, I would err on the side of pseudo a little bit.
Hmm.
But if
Hmm.
you have stats and statistics
Yes.
to back up what you're talking about and what you're doing, that
Hmm.
is the thing that's going to help you go through, because TED does fact check everything that you put out there. And
Right.
so I had two people actually. I think TED is kind of backlogged on some things too. So
Hmm.
I had one of them finally made it through, but we had to go back and provide their script, with the stats in it to support what it, and that's what they didn't put in their talk. So when they were on
Oh,
stage, they failed to back up their content that they were talking about. And
wow.
so it wasn't really much to glitch on our end as far as everything else, because we made sure that the quality and everything was there, but it was strictly within their speech. So
Hmm.
one thing I do like about TED, they do give you an opportunity to prove it. So they
Okay.
won't just say, oh, well, you can't do it. There's a no. No, they will come back to the organizer and say, look, this is what it is. Provide us what they had on their script, and then
Okay.
they'll do the rest. And that's what they did. And that's how one of them made it through, and the other one's still under review, because they still fact checking it.
So it's very good. It sounds like what you're saying here is when you're about to do a TED talk and you do these scripts, you need to make sure you keep those documents.
Keep the documents. As if you're an organizer or if you're a speaker, keep the documents. But the biggest part I would definitely say, because I know a lot of people want to get on this journey, is to make sure that if you are doing something that is kind of like against the grain, like this was one of them had something to do with like music being, therapy, or just the quantums and the melodic tunes and stuff like that. If you have that, you have to make sure that you have something that is very factual that's going to back that up, and include that statistic or that scientific review in your talk. You have to embed it in your talk, and you have to mention it. So in that way, they know that there is something out there that says, yeah, this is a thing that's being tested. It's being scientifically reviewed. There is something out there, and you're just not coming out the whim of saying, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, music therapy helps. Right. You have to back it up. And so that's one of the things I would tell right now to anybody who wants to be on that journey. You have to include that into your talks.
So why did you decide to take on that project? I mean, TED is world, global, international wide, it's all over the place. And so what made you decide to want to take on that type of project?
Yeah, I would say that that's a wonderful question. I get asked a lot. It was basically being able to bring something different to my community. Um,
Hmm.
for me, I being in the comfort zone for so many years, I would get out there, I would speak, but I would shy away from it at the same time. And it became, to a point where I found my confidence in my own voice. And I'm thinking, okay, how many other people are like me that want the opportunity to speak about something that they're passionate about? And so that's what I did. I looked into it. I saw that it was, an easy process, made it through. My theme was power of inclusion, which I'm just like hoping that I can continue that dialogue on that. And it was something that our community in my area, definitely could use a theme like that. And also, I think because, it is Black History Month, and I would air to say that I was like maybe the first African American woman in my area to bring
Right.
TEDx back to my area. The last time we had it was like 2010, 2014. And I think with me being so visible about it, it really did support my theme with the diversity that we had on that stage from, all walks of life, all, ethnic backgrounds and everything. But I do want to say we had a lot of African American women step up to the plate too. And it was very fascinating and amazing to see that. And I'm just glad to be able to lead that project.
Wow. Yes, I did. I watched some of the videos from the Mellon Street, talk. So yeah, they were fantastic. Now tell me, another question I have, when you mentioned the process, how hard was it? Because I know you have to get a license to do
Mhm.
this. It's not just, one day you wake up and say, I'm gonna organize, a TED talk. So you do have to get a license. How hard was that to do, and maybe how long did it take you to get the license to be able to do it?
The license process, it was like 90 days. It wasn't hard. It's just that you have to know what you really want to do, because they
Mhm.
will ask you questions about it. So it's like what they're asking you for, give them the information. Don't overdo it. Don't
Okay.
underdo it. Answer the questions, but really have that thought process going. Like, what do you want for your community? What type of topics that you can bring to the community, and how are you going to really support that? Just in a nutshell with what the process was. And as long as you have that content and you have it right, then and you make it through. I mean, they can't deny you. They can't deny you. And I was just thankful that I didn't get denied. And so it was a process, but it wasn't too hard.
So you need to figure out, sort of answer the question of what it is you want to do as far as because it is like a community thing, correct? So you need to,
Yes.
before you approach them, you need to already have an idea of how you want to kind of, because it's sort of bringing the community together. So is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's also and it can't be anything that's like too big for the area, too broad. You know, you have to think about what is your demographics or even, the count of your community. It can't be something that's like your community is basically what it is, like a small community. It can't
Mhm.
extend from one city to the next city if you have bordering cities. It's
Right.
like it's those type of things that, kind of get down to the preliminaries with it. But it's a good thing if people can go through that, and I do encourage people to do it because you know more more has to be out there, and more people should have platforms to be able to get on and say, you know what, I want to make a difference and impact people with a stage, or have that stage for other people to get on and talk about things. And I know one thing about my community and my city. I knew certain things development wise that was really good, and how this event was key for that area and being strategic about it. Strategy is everything. And that's what I really did, was being very strategic, even down to the theater that I selected. Like I said, my theme was power of inclusion. The theater was the American Theater here in Hampton, Virginia, and it was one of the first theaters to desegregate. And
Okay.
so it's like being able to have something like that, and knowing that, in a sense, if the inclusion was something back then, they would have been on the forefront of it.
Right.
So it was very fitting for everything that we did.
Wow. So do you think you'll organize another one? Will you be doing another one?
Yeah, I will be. Yes.
You will.
I have new topics.
Okay.
I've submitted new topics. So now I'm waiting for that approval of my new topics. And as soon as I
Oh, so
get
you
that, we'll
are
be
going
doing
to
another one
apply
in
for your
2026.
another. Okay. Okay. So just keep the ball rolling there, right?
Yeah, 'cause it's like, you once you get a license, you renew it every year. And
Okay.
so I've renewed it, put it in, and they have where you could put new topics in. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to continue the power of inclusion,
Yeah.
because I think
Yeah.
that's just powerful in itself.
So you can
But if
continue
not, I have other ones.
using, you can continue
That,
using that same thing.
I
Oh,
submitted it, so we're gonna
okay.
find out.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, that's a good question, good thing to know. If you would have to change
Yeah,
it every year, you can kind of
yeah,
still build on that same theme. That would be
yeah.
great. Yeah. Now, another thing, I understand that you are not a TEDx speaker, but you are about to go on that TEDx stage, right? Tell me about
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
And you know what? Look, I'm gonna bring it all out.
I know. I am excited about it, because I get this question a lot. It was like, okay, so how many TED Talks have you done? Like, you're doing
Uh,
TED, and and I do help other people prepare. And
right.
they're like, okay, how do you? I'm like, well, look, wait a second. That you have to understand that if you get the secret sauce and stuff, sometimes that's better coming from an organizer than a speaker. And but to be able to have that all together, yes. There's a TEDx Wandolio eventually coming out, and yeah, I will be one of the speakers.
Wow.
I've
Great,
applied
great.
for it, and so I'm just
Uh,
hoping that everything will go well with it, and yeah, that would be the opportunity.
that would be great. Yeah, I'm sure that you do very well in doing that, since you kind of know what the rules and the regulations are anyway. So that should really help right there, to know what you can and cannot have in your talk. So you kind of been studying that extensively, just by the fact that you've organized a large event. So the your speakers, that were on your 18 speakers, you say they were from all walks of life. Now, were
Mhm.
they all from your community, or did they come from different places?
Yeah, they came from different places, but I did have a quota to meet. I made a quota for my team, and that we wanted to make sure we had at least a certain percentage from our location on that
Okay.
stage. And so we
Hmm.
had 7 speakers from the Hampton Roads area, and they were the ones on the stage. And then everyone else did come in from mainly like the East Coast. It was up and down the East Coast, and I think down in Florida
Hmm.
that we had people come from. So it was amazing with it. And I'm glad
So
to be
it's
able to highlight the speakers that I did for my area.
mhm. So it's not a prerequisite that they all be from the community because it's you're trying to bring your community together. It's just that the
Yeah.
theme has to be for the community, right?
Yeah, the thing for the community, I would say strategically putting the thing for the community because that's what TED will look for. But you
Mhm.
also TED also have their own standard. So it's like when they're going through your ideas on your application that you're submitting, not only are they looking at and they're researching your community, but they're also looking at, okay, how is this going to fit the overall standard for TED as well? Because as a license holder, we
Okay.
still have to keep that integrity for the standard. And so
Mhm.
knowing that that was all, fitting in place, that it just afforded opportunity for it to make it even better and stronger. And I believe that they do look and see if there are other topics out there or other themes similar. Because if that's the case, it could come back and say, you know what, can you change this? Can you give, something
Okay.
else or something like that? But yeah, so we do have to make sure of that.
Oh, so they actually do all that research too. They really drill down before they let you take the stage under their name. Wow, that's really
Yeah, yeah,
interesting.
they definitely.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah,
that
even
is
down to like the radius of where your venue is from where you live. Like they
okay.
pinpoint all of that stuff because they, like you said, it's the community event. They want to make sure that you're not in some other state trying to do an event in some other location and that you don't even
Okay.
know what the community is about. So they
Is
do
about
definitely look at all of those things.
wow. That is so interesting because, like I said, I know TED is like worldwide, global, all over the place. And it's just amazing that they have it so structured like that, where they make sure that it benefits the community, and that's really a good thing that they do that. So
Yeah.
if now I'm going to kind of change a little bit here. Now I know that you wrote an article, how to build a successful side hustle, that was picked up by Forbes magazine. Let's talk about
Yes.
that. Tell us about that one, and how did you manage to get it into Forbes magazine? But tell us about that side
Yes, I do my own PR.
hustle.
So I am my own publicist, and with the marketing background that I have, and everything that I've done in the past for other people. That's my model. What I did for other people in the past, I put out there and I do for myself. And
Okay.
so yeah, I pitched for it. I pitched for the article. I have resources where I, find different journalists are pitching for, looking for people to talk about certain things. And I pitched for it and I didn't even know I was selected. I woke up one morning. I love Googling myself because I'm really big on my own visibility. And
Yeah.
I Googled myself and I woke up at 3 in the morning. I said, "Oh, let me see what's out here today." And I saw my name associated with Forbes 5 times. So what the person did, they took the questions that I answered and other people, because it was like maybe 2, 3 other people, and broke those questions into 5 articles, different articles. And it had to deal with, the side hustle. What are your metrics for businesses and things like it was like 5 different topics. And so
Mhm.
being able to give, information about side hustles and how to really, how can you build it? What is the right one for you? How can you look at it? And even though, I was quoted in all of it, wasn't like a full article, but I was
Mhm.
quoted and it had like maybe 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs in it for us. Hey, I made it, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, being able to share in that. So, and the one thing I really love the most is being able to look at it from a technical aspect or analytical aspect when they ask about
Okay.
the metrics. What can
Okay.
you use to measure the success in your business and the side hustles that you have?
There
So
you go.
being able to contribute to that was amazing. But it was a good feeling to wake up and find that and like 5 times
Yeah.
on my
I
first
can
try.
imagine.
Yeah. And
Wow.
it was one of the things that I wanted to be in Forbes, and it happened.
Okay. Okay. So now give us a few tips on building a side hustle since you got this credibility going now. You got to give us a couple tips on it.
Well, first tip is basically if you have an idea,
Mhm.
go on that idea because I feel if it's there for you, it's for you to really explore that and see if that's something that you can turn into a business. But then the
Mhm.
next step is to really plan it out. Don't just
Mhm.
go out there. I know a lot of people say just do it, which is good to kind of get you going, right? But you want to be able to plan it out. You have to have a strategy, you have to have a plan. You want to know where you're going, set the direction. So in that way, it enables you to have better success on a smoother road. Um,
Okay.
That'll be my second tip. The third one would be as you're planning it out and you're looking at it, don't shy away from your skill sets. Plan your business, build your hustle around your skill sets. What are you really amazing in? You have a lot of gifts and talents. And I think sometimes people will do a business that, they think is easy, but it's
Mhm.
not in their skill sets. And then it
Okay.
makes it hard. And next, it's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. They go on to the next thing. If you
Right.
think about your skill sets, think about what you're good at, do it from there, and then you can really use that to be a solution for other people out there. And
Mhm.
that's the other tip. Make sure that your business is a solution, whether
Absolutely.
it's service based, whether it's product based. If you go out there really solving problems for people, that's the thing that's going to help, because everybody has a thing that they want to do.
Right.
And when you really find that opportunity, that's your niche. I don't believe in niching down, I believe in niching accordingly. But if that's your niche, if it's one or two, make sure it's
Mm.
out there to solve something for the people that's out there in your audience. And that's how you build it. And then the other part would be lead your company, lead your product, lead your service as a personal brand, because it
Mhm.
helps to build more visibility. You want people to know who you are because
Absolutely.
it's easy to build trust
Mhm.
out the gate, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
but a lot of times we get out here, we have the logo, we have everything else, and we hide behind it and want to do business. But it's a glorious thing to be able to come out and talk about your product or talk about your service or be an expert about your industry that directs people back to who you are and to your business. So those are some of
Mhm.
the tips that I would give as far as like starting your hustle or your side hustle, um, and just being smart, but primarily be strategic and plan it out. Those are top
Right.
two.
Wow. Now, since you gave us such great tips on the side hustle, and I should have asked you this when we were talking about the TED Talk, give us a few tips that you would tell someone who wants to take the TED stage. What tips would you give them?
Yeah, so if you want to take the TED stage, I would say first research the opportunities that are out there.
Mhm.
TED, every event organizer has a different theme. Some of them have themes, some of them don't. You want to
Mhm.
have a strategy in how you apply. That's the first and foremost. Like you might have a good topic, a good speech for it and everything, but you still want to be strategic in how you apply. So in that
Mhm.
way, you're not applying blindly. You're not going for one that has a topic and then you don't even fit the topic or your message doesn't fit it or you can't, streamline it to make it fit.
Right.
You want to better your chances in that. Another thing I would say is still get coaching. A lot of times people are speakers, they are seasoned speakers, but the TED stage is different from any other stage. If you are a business owner and you're speaking and you used to doing presentations business
Yeah.
wise, that's not going to work for TED. So you
Yeah.
have to be able to say, oh, I'm used to speaking 30 minutes, but you might have to speak 8 minutes.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the top max is 18. So how
Right.
can you condense it down? So if you are able to find a coach who specializes in TEDx coaching or TED Talk coaching, definitely find a coach that can help you navigate through that process. It's good if they not only are teaching you how to speak, but how to navigate the process.
Absolutely.
It just helps you to be more strategic in it. Those are, I would say, those are the top ones because I hear a lot of people, say, "Oh, I speak all the time." Yeah,
Yeah.
but are you
Yeah.
ready for that?
And it's just they don't
It's a
realize
difference.
don't get up there and do a motivational speech, for a TED Talk. And
Yeah,
so I think that's what some people think that however I've been speaking, I can do the same thing there, but they have to
yeah,
figure out that's not the format that TED is looking for. Absolutely. Wow.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to go to your book that you wrote. Let's talk about that. You wrote the book, The Ugly Truth About Entrepreneurship Keys to Managing Mental Wellness. Tell us why you
Yes.
wrote this book and what it's all about.
Yeah, that is my passion project. I wrote the book. Actually, it's my story. It's about my journey through the pandemic.
Mhm.
How I really went through mentally with that. And I'm one of the ones, I don't mind being transparent. I don't mind showing the ugly side of entrepreneurship. And that's really was about. A lot of times we can see people talk about the glorious parts of entrepreneurship, the good things and everything, but how many of us going to talk about all the pitfalls, all the failures, or feeling like a failure, or whatever else that makes you feel like you don't even want to do business again? And that was a hard place for me. And so I really didn't. I was going to throw in the towel, and it took a lot of prayer, resilience, overcoming, perseverance, everything. And when I did, I just like knew that mental health and entrepreneurship is a real thing. And we really, as entrepreneurs, we go through a lot. We are looking at building a business. Some of us are having families and working 9 to 5s in school. You're doing so much. And when something goes, it's not going your way, it can feel like, your world is caving in. And out of that process, out of that experience that I had, is like I had these keys. I came out with these keys of mental wellness that I was really applying for myself. But I thought about it and I'm like, okay, how many other people need this too?
Mhm.
So I deemed myself as an advocate for entrepreneurship and mental
Mhm.
health. And
Mhm.
and that's what I talk about in the book. And I give those keys, and some of those keys is basically they're practical, but for entrepreneurs, especially for women, it's the things that we don't do all the time, like prioritizing self-care.
Yeah.
Being able to say no, like knowing our capacity, because sometimes we will operate until our glass is overflowing,
Right.
and we don't have anything else for ourselves. So it's like these things that I found a relief in, because I was that person who was doing everything and being everywhere, and doing this for this person, doing that for that person, and really being numb to a burnout,
Mhm.
being burnt out but not really knowing it. But it took for me to be
Yeah.
still for
Yeah.
2 years for me to realize where I was. So
Wow.
that's what the book is about. It's everywhere. It's worldwide, actually. It's every online outlet you can find. I'm still finding places, new places are popping up. I just found out it was in the Harvard bookstore recently.
Wow.
I don't know how long it was there, but I just found out. So, like I said, I Google,
Okay.
Google
Okay.
everybody, Google yourself, Google your products, make sure they're
Yeah.
showing up.
After myself, and like you said, you never know what's going to pop up. The last time I did it, like you, I had an article popped up that I didn't know had even been published. So it's really a good idea to Google yourself every now and then just to see what's out there, good or bad, because you never know what might
Exactly.
turn. Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
that is definitely a good idea. So what is on the horizon? What's next? What are your plans? Any books, any more articles? Well, you did say you're gonna be organizing another TEDx event. So what else are you gonna be doing next? What's Sasha gonna be into?
Oh my God, Sasha's always into something. Always. My brain is always going. But what I'm excited about right now, so I am working on another book. But what I'm most excited about right now are I've gotten into AI like so crazily heavy, right? And
Good.
I've created some GPTs, and I have 9 out there on the marketplace on OpenAI. And so I'm using that in my business to help other entrepreneurs. I'm beta testing some of them right now, and it's amazing. I'm amazed. My testimonials are so wonderful. But being able to take something and be innovative and be able to change with the times. We have to make sure that as business owners, we're moving along with the technological advances and everything. And
Yeah,
anything that's going to help you like work
I can get
smarter.
into my stuff a little more myself. I've been dreading it, but I know that I need to do it. But now that you brought that up, we do have a video that I'd like to show. So we're gonna take a few seconds and go ahead and show your video, and then we'll come back and talk some more. Okay. Yeah. If he's gonna. Wow. Now that is your GPT video, right? That's
Yes.
explain that. Okay, explain it to me. I know it says Sasha Collection. Tell us about that video.
Yeah, I love seeing it, Sasha Walton Collection. So that was like my launch video that I made, and I just took all my GPTs and put it out there, still to be like a teaser in a sense, because it just showed the images. I love being able to use visual teasers a lot.
Before you go any for GPT, tell us what that is.
Yeah, so ChatGPT is the AI for OpenAI, is
Okay.
the chatbot basically, and that's everybody's talking about these days. But you have the opportunity to either use ChatGPT or create your own.
Okay.
So I started using AI, I started using ChatGPT, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? Let me see if I can make my own. And so I started making my own, and basically I did a brain dump. This is my version of cloning myself. And so being able to really program everything in a way that people would need, business owners, whether you're a business owner, whether you're somebody who wants to plan events, have a the one with the little robot, little cute robot, that's a virtual assistant. And publishing, PR, I have one for your whole business, like everything you need from creating business plans to policies and procedures, legal advice, everything you need as an entrepreneur, especially one that's doing startup, that's starting out in business. It's everything. I got one for marketing. Every niche that I have within myself, I poured into each GPT. Wow. And so it's there to help people, because everybody doesn't have the budget to hire coaches or to hire, do the high ticket off, programs or anything like that. You have so many DIYers out here. You have so many solo entrepreneurs that don't have a budget. And my heart is for those entrepreneurs. And with that, along with the membership, a subscription that I'm doing this year that will be for what I would say is the majority of business owners. They are the ones who are bootstrapping. They are the ones that are still pulling from their personal income to support their business. And they are the ones that maybe can't get funding or anything like that, but they still have a dream and they still have a purpose. So for me, I want to be that person that will say, you know what? Yeah, I could do high ticket anytime, but I also want to make sure that I'm bringing other people up with me that can afford something. So if it's something that's on the marketplace and all you can afford is the $20 plus, for GPT plus, okay, you got my apps out there. that can help you. And if you need more help, then you can hire, me as a coach or someone else and, to be able to take you further. But my whole purpose for the whole thing was being able to, one, to be able to work smarter and not harder. But in the process, I have something that can help so many other people as well. And when
Absolutely.
you're using GPT, you have to put your prompts in there,
Okay.
but you have to know what to put in there, right?
Yeah.
So I took a lot of the guesswork out of it, and I
Okay.
basically built in the programming, the prompts that you would need. So you only have to know what to ask for, and it knows what to do for you.
Wow. God. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to get you on the Black Business Olympics to talk about all of this because that's amazing that
Thank you.
you have put all that together.
Well, I
So
have one for TEDx speakers too. I'm sorry.
huh?
I
You
almost
did.
forgot. I have one. It's a speaker pro for TEDx speakers.
Yeah,
And also,
I saw you had that out there that you were talking about that. Yeah.
yeah.
Fantastic. Unbelievable. So tell us if you had one piece of advice to leave with our viewers, what would that piece of advice be?
To follow your heart and your dreams and your purpose. When you have it, just go after it. Go after it. Have a strategy, have a plan for it. But first, acknowledge that you have it because it could
Mhm.
be the thing that changed your life and the trajectory for your family and build legacy.
And how can the viewers reach out to you to get your book, to find out more, even to get a copy of that article that's that was picked up by Forbes, but mainly
Yeah.
to find out more about your GPT collection? How can they reach out to you? Where are you? Just tell us.
Yeah. As far as Google me, Sasha Walton, WALTON. I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You could just put in Sasha Walton. On Instagram, I am that girl Sash, and it's SACH. Or you can email me at Sasha, SACHA, at SWIMGTgroup.com. You can also go to my website, which is SWIMGTgroup.com/membership to find out more about subscriptions and the GPTs. But yeah, you could definitely go into OpenAI for my GPTs as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sasha, for being here with us tonight, sharing all that information on TED and getting on the stage. Also, your GPT, giving us some great nuggets here that to share out with the viewers and listeners. Really appreciate you for taking time out of your schedule to do that. Looking forward to your next event. Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing you on that stage myself. So I am definitely looking
Yeah,
forward to it. So thank you
I'm
so much
excited.
for
Thank
coming in.
you.
Enjoyed our conversation. And I tell you what, I will be checking you out, definitely looking into that GPT because I need to get some knowledge on that myself. So
Okay.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
And
having me.
oh, you're so welcome. Okay, so now I'm going to take us into some upcoming events. What's going to be happening next? Make sure to get your copy of Own It Anthology. It's Your Life. Own It Unapologetically. And the journal, 365 Days to Transformation. To pre-order the paperback book and the journal, you can do it separately. You can go to my website or you can purchase both together by going to my website, www.exwsi.com. Also, make sure to tune in to the Black Business Olympics next week, which is February. It's going to be taking place February 26th through March 3rd, 2024. The Black Business Olympics is a fundraiser to provide scholarships and laptops to high school seniors and K through 12 entrepreneurs. The Black Business Olympics showcases Black businesses, Black business owners, and corporations all around the world. And if you would like to be a speaker to showcase your business, you can email me at info@exwsi.com. If you miss the Show Up to Rise Up Virtual Summit, which aired January 25th through the 27th, which I did. You can still get the VIP access pass for $99. To do so, you can email me at info@exwsi.com, and I'll send you the link to be able to order the VIP access pass. I will also be doing another Show Up to Rise Up virtual summit, which is scheduled for September 26th through the 28th, 2024. So if you're interested in being a speaker on the platform for that, you can go to www.speakatshowuptoriseup.summit.com. That's www.speakatshowuptoriseup.summit.com. Or you can email me at info@exwsi.com for more information about becoming a speaker. Just put in the subject line September Virtual Summit, and I will reach back out to you. Also, mark your calendar as the next Show Up Rise Up Women's Retreat is scheduled for September 13th through the 15th, 2024. And the location is going to be the Turf Valley Resort and Spa in Ellicott City, Maryland. If you want to be kept up to date or be placed on the list to attend, you can also email me for that at info@exwsi.com. And if you have not viewed my TEDx talk that I did in Vancouver, Canada, make sure that you do so. Again, the topic was Show Up to Rise Up, and you can watch it on YouTube by just putting in my name in the search box, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, or you can send me an email at info@exwsi.com, and I'll send you the direct link. Make sure to check it out because I'm excited. The video is still moving, still being pushed out there. It is now, as of today, at 197,967 views. So I want to, as you know, reach 1 million plus views. That is my goal. So I want to thank all of you in advance who have viewed the video, who have continuously watched it, supported it, commented on it, shared it, and liked it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am also a contributing writer to Own It magazine, where I share nuggets and resources. I write an article for them every month. Own It magazine is a resource for personal, professional, and business development. So if you would like to get a subscription to the magazine, you can go to my website, www.exwsi.com, and you'll be able to get an annual subscription. If you'd like to view the magazine first, get a digital copy, I'll be glad to send you a digital copy. Just email me for that, info@exwsi.com. I want to again thank my guest tonight, Miss Sasha Walton, for coming on and sharing such great nuggets with us. I also want to thank my viewers for joining us. This is the Successful Women Show. I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, and if you'd like to reach out to me, you can email me at info@exwsi.com or go to my website, www.exwsi.com. And while you're there, make sure you download my free 3-part video series on 3 things every woman should do to position herself for executive leadership. You can also sign up for my online course, which is Crack the Career Code: How to Lead with Confidence, Charisma, and Credibility. To sign up for the online course, go to www.crackthecareercode.com. You can also reach out to me at any of the social media sites. I'm all of them. Just you can DM me through any of those, and I will get back with you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and the Pod TV channel. Also like and share this episode, which is Planning Your Events with Miss Sasha Walton. Make sure that you like this episode and share it with others. She gave us some great nuggets, and if you have aspirations of being a TEDx speaker, then she gave some great nuggets on that you might want to hear. Again, this is the Success for Women show. We are here every Friday. I am your host, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, helping women to accelerate the path to success. I want to thank my guest again, Ms. Sasha Walton, for joining us, and all my viewers for joining us. I love you all to life. And as always, be well and stay safe out there. Thank you. Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million+ women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.